Welcome to the show, everyone. I guess that's my introduction because I say it every time. Welcome. I sound like a carnival man, a fat carnival man that wears a little top hat and welcomes people in. This is episode, I don't have a clue, 17 maybe? That's so many episodes. That is a third of a year, isn't it? I've been doing this since August, September, October. Wow. That's crazy. We've had so much fun. We've had so much fun. I got a jacket on for the first time. We're breaking boundaries here. I was going to say it's cold in my apartment, but I'm wearing shorts. So I'm clearly just wearing this jacket for a stylistic choice. I think it's because I realize I'm going to run out of clothes. I don't want to wear a t-shirt also. That's kind of weird. That's not professional. This is a professional podcast. We talk about serious things. So I was like, let me just add some jackets. So we're layering. I'm like a Polly Pocket that you can put a new jacket on. It's like, whoa, she looks so chic. Where did she get that outfit from? No, but I did just buy this jacket. I just want to show people my cool new jacket. Like a 5-year-old boy that got a new toy. Everyone, look at my toy. Look at my toy. I saw some guy at an open mic wearing a green jacket. And it was different it wasn't this one. But I was like, that's a nice jacket. That's a nice jacket. And he left before I could, I was going to ask. I was going to go up to him after. Like, hey, where's that jacket from? Which he probably would have thought I would go up to him and be like, hey, nice jokes. I'm like, hey, actually, didn't listen to a word you said. Where's that jacket from? But I tried to look for it, and it was kind of similar to this, and I couldn't find it. So I found this one on Levi's, I think, and it's a good jacket. I mean, they had a deal. I was like, this is how they get you, man. They roped me in so hard. I'm not immune from this. It was like buy $200 worth of stuff, get $75 off. I'm like, I gotta do it. It was like buy 100 and get 25. I'm like, that's not a deal. That's not a deal. Come on. So I bought the 200 and got 75 off. So it really wasn't. I got 2 jackets and a jean, some jeans. There's that even that's one pair of jeans, one leg of the jeans, so I can free ball the other half. And it was like $125. So in this day and age, I don't know where this jacket was made. Probably I was gonna say to have a guarantee it wasn't made by people in another country working for slave labor wages, but it honestly probably was. Does it say where this is from? Made in Cambodia. Oh, shit. God damn it. Pretend I didn't say that. Scrub that from the record. If I ever have a guy doing the podcast, which is some editor, whatever they're called. The guy that just sits in the corner and you tell him to do stuff. My Cambodian slave that I'm going to have. I scrub that from the record. We can have that. I have to look proper. But I did get this to work. I got the new setup to work. I tested it a few times. It worked in the few minutes of clips that I tested. So hopefully it works for an hour. This is a way more high-tech setup than I had before. So hopefully it works. Hopefully it sounds good. And if it does, it works well, I can have a guest. My brother literally texted me right before I made this. He's like, let me on the podcast. It's like, I need you to let me on. I have things to talk to people about. He's going to be spewing conspiracy theories. Did you know that in 1967, Italian people were actually converted to Cambodians? I'm just going to keep, anytime I need a race in this episode, I'm going to talk about Cambodians. They did make my jacket, so that's just a racist way I just said that. I'm not racist, guys. Have I ever met a Cambodian person before? I'm not sure. I'm not actually sure. I guess it's a very unrepresented, or there's probably a lot of people in America that are Cambodian, but it's kind of like one that goes under the radar. It's a very lesser represented Asian group. So I guess there might be some Cambodian stereotypes I'm not aware of. I don't know them, and I won't be partaking in them because if I've met a Cambodian person, they were very nice. I can't remember if I would have known if they were Cambodian and bad. I would have been like, it would have tainted my view. That's how stereotypes happen. You meet one bad Cambodian person, and you're like, those Cambods, those damn Cambods. All right, anyway, let's talk about business here. Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul. We talked about it last episode. We talked about how I thought Jake Paul was going to win. He won, guys. That's what the fight was. It was WWE wrestling, basically. It was fixed. I tried to bet on it before the fight happened. I am banned on DraftKings, which is a story that I may never tell. But I tried betting on FanDuel. They didn't let me. They said it's not available in your state. And that was my first question of, this doesn't seem right. I thought it was rigged before, but that was like, okay, this is definitely probably rigged. So I'm not saying that Mike Tyson could have beat Jake Paul. It's obviously a big age difference. But certainly felt like there was some... At a certain point, Mike Tyson was just like standing there. He wasn't doing anything. If you watched the fight. I went out to watch the fight. I went to a destination, imagine that, for nothing. So, what can you do? It was entertaining a little bit. We saw Mike Tyson's ass, too. They showed that for no reason. Just, I don't know what he was wearing, just assless pants. That got a bunch of the boys in the bar excited. Like, damn, I gotta get my money on Mike Tyson. Look at those cheeks. My goodness. But I'm sure he's happy. He made what, $20 million. Jake Paul made ridiculous amounts of money, guys. Ridiculous amounts of money. We could do a meat sangria. I'd get punched in the face. No, I wouldn't get punched in the face for $20 million. No, maybe I would. I don't know. I think the thing is, there's a risk you're permanently having brain damage, right? So I think I'd have to make enough money to where I would never have to work again, guaranteed. If I'm getting, but then if I get brain damage, I'm not going to be as funny. I'm just not going to be the same person, maybe. I might just be a blob. Like, would I rather be a blob? Would I rather lose 50 IQ points and have $20 million? The answer is no. The answer is no. Well, my IQ is probably 357, so I'd still be the smartest person in the world, so I guess maybe if we equate that. I took an IQ test. It was off the charts. They actually said I was unreadable. I couldn't identify what a triangle was, and they said, you're too smart. I was thinking in too many dimensions. That's how it goes. But yeah, that fight was certainly disappointing. I think we all just hoped Mike Tyson would knock him out. We hoped he would go off script. That's what I was hoping. I was like, okay, it's probably fixed, but maybe he's just like, I want to punch someone. I want to fucking fight this guy. And he didn't. So, whatever. Good for him. And Jake Paul was, to his credit, even though he's not a very creditable man, we'll say, he was like, nice to fight a legend, blah, blah, blah. Jake Paul, honestly, doesn't bother me as much as his brother, because I kind of think he's just like very, I don't know how to describe it. It's like, there's like a stereotypical student in my mind from like a high school who's stupid and kind of a bully, but he's not smart enough to be a bully. You know what I mean? Like, he's trying, but it's like he's so dumb. And so, not even that he's dumb. I don't know if I can call Jake Paul dumb. Just like the way he talks is so slow and he's like not quick on his feet mentally. So it's just like he's trying to bully you, but he doesn't work. And you're just like, bro, like give up. I know what you're trying to do. I respect the effort. I respect the bully hustle. It's not working. So that's kind of what I feel about him. But whatever. He has way more money than I do. He could crush me right now. Like the worm I am. So at the end of the day, they entertained us. Let's give them some respect for entertaining us. Well done, guys. But if they have another one of those, I won't be watching. I haven't watched any of Jake Paul's previous fights, have I? I don't think I have. He's fought a bunch of people. I've seen the highlights, certainly. But the entire fight, no. So this one, they got us. They got us good, guys. They got us good. I did see his brother. No. I'm thinking of Conor McGregor versus Floyd Mayweather. That was different. What are we doing, guys? I'm glad influencer boxing has kind of died down. That was a thing for a while. Certainly, I would never do that. That's just, what's the point? Who am I proving that? What am I proving to anyone that I can box? I'll do an influencer roast session, certainly. Play on my own terms. You try to punch me while I make fun of you. That'd be great. I saw that Liam Payne's funeral was like yesterday or something. That's didn't he die like a month ago? He died the day I was at my grandma's funeral, so I know it's over a month ago. I don't know where his body has been. It's very confusing. Like, what the heck? He's just been chilling on ice for a while. Like, don't open that cooler. Liam's in there. They could have had a ice skating show. Liam Payne on ice, just his dead. But he's like Weekend at Bernie's, but him on ice, while they sang his songs and paraded him around. How disrespectful can I be to the dead body of Liam Payne, or to Liam Payne, not his body? I don't care. I could be very disrespectful to his body. If you invite me to the funeral, what is in my mouth? You ever just get something like pop out of your teeth and you're, oh my God. I'm like, where is that hiding this whole time? That's why I floss every night. There's just morsels hiding in my mouth. There's a morsel there. I have to consume it. 1 second. Interrupted me talking about Liam Payne's dead body. So yeah, his funeral was yesterday, I think, or recently. Hopefully he goes in. Maybe his body wasn't in good shape. Maybe it was a closed casket thing, so they don't really have to worry about it. And maybe, I guess with all these celebrities, you kind of have to plan in advance. Harry Styles can't stop his world tour to go to a funeral. He's got a plan. So, I'm not really sure about that, but interesting. I didn't realize. What's the longest anyone's ever gone from dying to having their funeral? That's a good question. Where the body has been shown. I would like to see that. I would like to have been invited to that. Next time you're waiting, let me know. I don't know what scenario. I guess if I died, right, let's say I died in North Korea. Let me think of the most hypothetical situation. And they were like bargaining over my body. I died in North Korea and they're like, Donald Trump's like, we need Matt Lipari's body. He's an American patriot. We need him, the funniest guy in the world. Like, we have to get his body. And it just takes a while. They're like hostage negotiations and stuff. Kim Jong-un, like, makes a missile, puts my body on a missile, he fires in the air, test rocket, and I'm broken up into pieces. Finally get my body back. I'm sure if they're going to try to put it in good shape to have a wake for me, people are going to be flying across the country to visit my funeral. They're going to make me look good. So I guess it could be a while. It could be a few months. I don't know if the maggots start eating me that quickly. It's getting gruesome. My God, wow. Someone once commented, I probably talked about this, about how I shouldn't have my podcast be as gross as it is. I shouldn't talk about gross topics. Damn, that sucks for you. Right in the beginning, too. Oh, where are we at? Minute 5, and we're talking about Liam Payne's dead body on ice. My goodness. I think the last episode I made was a little too political. I was listening to it back. This is a comedy podcast, guys. We're here to make jokes. By the way, I'm sorry if you hear the construction going on. I hear like a saw in the back. They're still there. They're going to be working there probably for a few more weeks. Just modifying my neighbor apartment. I don't know what it looks like. I did talk about it once on the podcast. I went in there and it was awful. It looked so bad. The bathroom looked like a saw bathroom. It's just giant with a bathtub in the middle and white tiles. Looked like you would kill everyone there. So it wasn't a good looking apartment, but hopefully they're making it better. And hopefully my wife moves in. Hopefully the hottest girl in the world moves in and she's the biggest fan of me in the world. And that would be great. But if not, if it's someone that's loud and disgusting, I might have to move out of here. That's my worst nightmare. Just a disturbing man. Here's the dry throat again. A disturbing man who I guess just a loud neighbor would be bad. I've never really had a loud neighbor. I did have neighbors that would always have sex above me, and the walls were so thin I could always hear it, and it was kind of gross. It was actually I have a joke about it. I don't want to talk about it more because I don't want to reveal it to everyone. But that was annoying. So that would be worse if that happened next to me. That would be awful. That would be the worst possible thing. So hopefully the walls are thick enough. I don't hear them talking, which is good. I only hear the tools. I only hear when they're like ripping wood apart. So maybe that's good. I assume they can't hear me now if they're in the apartment. Maybe they can. Maybe they're listening. Like I said, they're big fans of mine. They love me. But yeah, what was that? Man, I'm all over the place today. No politics. Oh, I was talking about how last episode was a little too political. And I'm certainly going to still talk about politics, I guess, but this is a comedy podcast, right? We need to make it more fun. So we're going to try to keep it light on that. Try to make it a little bit more. I'm not here to educate you guys. I'm not a fucking college professor. I barely know. I'm a 26-year-old man who tells jokes for a living. What am I? I'm not a political analyst, guys. I don't know the ins and outs of economics. I can't even pronounce that correctly. That's how much I know. The in and out burger of economics. Fuck if I know what I'm talking about. So I doubt that's what you want me to talk about. We're here to have fun. We're here to make jokes. So we will talk about some stuff like the Trump dance, right? That's been happening a lot. This is literally what I did for the pesto shuffle. I want to be clear. I invented the Trump dance. Well, he did it. I made it more famous by calling it the pesto shuffle. If we see Pesto doing the Trump dance, the world's going to go crazy. Like, penguins are Trump fans too? That's crazy. But yeah, it's the most old person dance. It's just a white guy dance. And now everyone's doing it. Sport people are all doing it. Which, let's be clear, they're all rich, multi-millionaire athletes. I hate when people are like surprised that multi-millionaires are voting for Trump and Republicans. Like, okay, guys, people with a lot of money overwhelmingly vote for Republican stuff, usually. Let's be very clear. So when they're doing the Trump dance, it's like, oh my God. Yeah, that's what they're going to do, you know what I mean? And also, it's a stupid dance. It's kind of a funny dance, so I try not to read too much into it. Doing the pesto shuffle. I'm only going to call it the pesto shuffle from now on. What a great line. I haven't checked in on Pesto in a while. I haven't seen a video from him. Guarantee he has no more brown feathers. You couldn't even recognize him. He's probably just the same old blob. It's like, where are the cameras? Where'd they go? What the heck? Pesto and Moodang? Gone already. That's how quickly it is. How did Pesto and Moodang not outlast the Hawk Tua girl? That's kind of crazy. I should listen to her podcast for some inspiration. But maybe I should have them as guests on my couch. Hey, come to my apartment in the middle of Manhattan. Come talk to me about how you should not have outlasted a penguin and a hippo. But yeah, no more politics. I mean, I don't know. I think it's just important to talk about the ideas behind politics sometimes and it's not about the people, right? It's not about Donald Trump. It's not about some of these people. It's about the core ideas, what you believe in. People get attached to other people too much. They start to idolize people. I don't like doing that. I hate idolizing people. I hate saying I'm a part of a group, being part of groups. That's a theme you'll notice here. Like I said, group chats, that's barely even a group, I leave group chats. That's how much I don't want to be part of a group. Can't even be in your group chat. So being part of a political group, I'm not a registered Democrat. I'm not a registered Republican. I'm just a guy who believes certain things. And, hopefully, I hope other people believe them as well. And I think the world would be a good place. I think a lot of people just think the world would be a better place if my ideas were all implemented. Some people definitely not. Some people are insane. The world would be a better place if all women were required to check into my apartment every night and give me some loving. World would be a better place if y'all had to donate a tenth of your income to me. It would be, honestly. I'd be enjoying myself, honestly. You guys would be suffering, but certainly other ladies would be suffering. Yeah, so that is what it is. I try not to be tribal or anything or idolize any people. Besides myself, when I look in the mirror every night and compliment my jacket. Every night I've been 5 minutes of complimenting my own jacket. It's been quite nice. But yeah, so we'll keep it low on the politics. If some cool, funny story happens, like I don't know, Donald Trump like falls coming out of the Air Force One, which as long as he doesn't, I don't know. For some people, if he died, it would be funny. They'd be like, nice. But I don't know. When Joe Biden fell, it was funny. Let's be real. He was riding his bike. He fell. It was funny. And I guarantee if Trump falls and we're all laughing at him, there's going to be people being like, what's so funny laughing at an old man, you motherfuckers? Guys, you did it to Joe Biden. Let's all just stop the charade. We can all laugh at it's funny. When old people fall, it's funny. Donald Trump can't speak English sometimes, and he's like, it's funny. Let's stop the charade of getting offended. If he calls people garbage, it's kind of funny. Let's be real. Calling people garbage, calling people bums. Honestly, if I was president, I'd be like, you guys are fucking bums. These people right here, bums. Bums. Fools. Wieners. I was trying to think of a cooler third thing, and I couldn't. Wieners is not. I would never call that. Anthony Weiner. Whatever happened to that guy? We need a good old-fashioned sex scandal that ruins someone's career. My goodness. Freaking. Those are all fun scandals, too. And Donald Trump has... Whatever. No more politics. Anyway, news story. Frontier Airlines passenger spills hot tea on his penis and disfigures himself. That's great. That's what we want to hear. I don't even know. I just saw this and I wrote it down. I didn't think about it at all. So let me think about what I want to say about that. I think it said his penis had like discoloration on it and it couldn't feel anything. How hot was this tea? This is like exactly like the Seinfeld episode where he like sues them because of the hot coffee at McDonald's. I didn't know planes were capable of getting liquid that hot, but I guess they are. Maybe it was some jet fuel. Frontier Airlines. I think that's like a Pacific Northwest one. I don't know. Not a good brand. Not a big brand. Sucks to suck, buddy. That'd be a great plan if you already had a disfigured penis, just to blame it on someone else. That'd be an awesome plan, actually. It's like, what the heck? You go in the bathroom in the plane and just start screaming, what the? Someone come here, look at this. You got to get the gay flight attendant to come in. He's like, oh, but that does not look right. Jesus, Lord, clutching my pearls. That does not look right. Sir, we will have to call security when you get back, because we cannot have that penis on this flight. That is disgusting. That is disgusting. We hope a snake comes out of the toilet and bites that thing off. That is disgusting. I don't know why my gay flight attendant is just a southern black man. I need a stereotype flight attendant, so he's a southern gay black man. But yeah, I hope I'm assuming he'll sue. But I don't know the scenario though. Did they spill it? Did he spill it on himself? Was there turbulence? I think there was turbulence. I think I remember that. The plane starts to get bumpy. I don't know if he has a case. I don't know. Maybe they say if it's turbulence, you're responsible for damaging yourself. So, sucks for that guy's penis. Hope it's all right, man. My penis just was put up a fist of solidarity. Hang in there, bro. I feel for you. That would suck. That would honestly be a blessing. You know what I mean? Or in some way, like losing sensitivity down there. It's just like, I guess I don't need to have urges anymore. I guess I can be a normal human, or not even normal. I just can be a guy that doesn't care about having sex. So that's a blessing sometimes. Sometimes I wish I was just I keep saying regular man as if regular men don't want to have sex. Regular men are fiends. Regular men are just like looking on the shit like, look at that. They turn back when you walk by with ladies and they're like, oh, look at that booty. They're licking their lips. That's a regular man for you. So no, but I'm talking about a eunuch, someone who has their penis cut off. Man, talk about disgusting topics. Sometimes I wish someone would just slice me off. That's what I'm saying. All right, so yeah, I was gonna say rest in peace to that guy, but good luck with that. You can get a good settlement from that. From a big company, you can get a lot. Some people wish they could get that much money. you wish you could damage yourself to that extent. And a law firm will be more than happy to represent you in that case. But all right, next topic: carrots have E. coli. There's an E. coli outbreak in carrots, and I just want to say, guys, for the record, I don't want to put this hat on completely because my hair is nice. I told you so, guys. I told you so. You see this? MeetSangria.com for the Save the Carrot Meister hat. You guys didn't believe that this was a serious cause, and I had to take matters into my own hands. Let's just say there's going to be a lot more infectious disease outbreaks where that came from. You guys been enjoying carrots? Not so fast. Guess who's immune to E. coli? The Carrot Meisters. Guess who can live their life in peace with these carrots that are being thrown out because they can't be eaten? The Carrot Meisters. So you guys didn't want to support the cause? You didn't want to raise money? We had to take matters in our own hands. It's called guerrilla warfare. It's called psychological warfare. It's called fucking people up. I don't feel bad for anyone who eats carrots to get extremely sick, to probably die. Think about what they've been doing. So, there's that. And you guys know it's your fault. You guys, deep down, you just saw me put that hat on. You're like, shit, we could have stopped this. Look at the monster we created. I'm a super villain, baby. I am a super villain. And I think I read also that there's like some like monopoly with the carrots. Did I fuck my hair up? I think I did. Anyway, there's some monopoly with the carrot place too. It's like somehow one company's making all these carrots and they're stealing like a town's water or something just to grow carrots. So it's like uncovering this whole big scandal. I don't know. There's all this carrot scandal. My God. But like I said, that ain't my fault. Like I said, I didn't know nothing about that, but you guys could have stopped this. I'll say that. I got many connections down in the Idaho carrot farm, and we're going to do it again. You guys think you're going to pull a fast one? We're going to do it again. We're going to save our buddies. War's coming, and you want to eat your little carrots? You want to have your little carrot in your dilly dip, whatever you call it? Go have fun. Just saying, you get a disease. It's not my fault. Okay, a Putin criticizer jumps out of window. That's a fun story. We had a lot of fun stories here. A lot of heartfelt stories. That happens often. Putin criticizers just drop like flies. I don't know what's with them, man. Hold the fight, guys. Stay against Putin. You guys just keep giving up too quickly. There's no way you were forced to jump out of the window. That would be crazy. I went the Russian news station explaining how it happened. It was a slippery floor. Why I can't do the accent. I think I was too busy doing an Italian accent, and I can't switch to Russian that quickly. It was a slippery floor. The window was open, and we pushed him out. Oh no, we didn't push. He fell out. He didn't read the caution sign on the floor. He just slipped out of the window. He was on the 100th floor. I don't know what that accent was. Truly, I can't do any accents. I think I can. Just like it has to be. Like I can't do it on purpose. It has to be like God's gift. God has to like channel it into me at the moment. But yeah, I'm sure the guy fell. He accidentally fell out of a giant window. What the heck? Oh my God, how could that happen? He was like a ballet dancer, Russian ballet dancer, Putin criticizer. You know, thank God we don't live in Russia. I'll just say that. Or maybe some of you guys are listening and you do live in Russia. In which case, skip over this part of the podcast. You cannot be listening to this conspiracy stuff. But that's certain countries, right? I'm sure North Korea. Certain countries, you say something bad about the president, you say it enough times, pop, pop. But it'll make it look like an accident. Oh my God, he fell into a manhole in the street and then we poured cement over him. Oh, what an accident. That sucks. So, country with freedom of speech, even in some other, like, I keep hearing stories in Britain about, like, people getting arrested for social media posts. Some of it's crazy, guys. I'll be real. Some of it's a little crazy. Certainly scary. I don't want to live in a world where that's happening. So, honestly, I don't know which side of the spectrum, we're back to politics here, is going to be the one to breach that line in America first. Because they're both kind of on the verge of it. It's kind of like both parties are kind of the same at a certain point. They're kind of the same, which is scary. That's a scary part where two parties, like when you reach the ends of them, they're the exact same thing. So I hope we're never in a point where, certainly if I was president and you guys made fun of me, you guys said my joke wasn't funny, yeah, CIA's coming, pop, pop, pop. Brah. I love making gun noises any chance I get. Your car blows up with all your kids in the car? Sorry, you should have laughed at my jokes. You should have smiled at me. What can I say? But yeah, in some of these other countries, Man, that sucks. That must really suck. So I don't know. Russia's so big and there's a lot of people. I don't know. I mean, it's just kind of crazy. The one benefit is that humans are mortal, right? They die. People getting old, they die. People die. And someone's always there to fill their place, but they're not the same, right? There's a certain charisma to certain people. Like, if Donald Trump dies, and let's say his son wanted to come into power, no one likes his son. His son's one of the least likable people I've ever seen. Less likable than Donald Trump. Donald Trump's at least, he does his little dance. He does the pesto shuffle. You're like, hey, he's an old guy, he does the pesto shuffle. His son, so unlikable. Oh my God. His second son, they're both kind of the same. Barron is fine. I like my suitcase. He can just come on and say that. What's your policy on the world? I like my suitcase. Mommy, I'm going to go to school today. If you don't know what video I'm talking about, just literally type in "I like my suitcase" into Google, and you'll see it, and you'll start laughing. Pause this. You'll be like, "That was a great imitation. That was an amazing imitation." I like my suitcase. So he could be president, but I'm sure some people are. Some people are real weirdos about that. But yeah, so you have to have charisma. So I'm saying if Vladimir Putin dies, which he will eventually. This is not hearsay. Don't kill me, Vladimir. There's a sniper through the window right here trying to shoot me. He will, just natural causes, peacefully in his bed, or whatever, something worse. You know, they may not have the charisma. They may not have the gumption to be a feared president, I guess, in Russia. Just you have to have that X factor. It's like just auditioning for American Idol. Sometimes you're a good singer, you don't have that X factor. They don't like the way you look. So yeah, but prayers up. And there was another person that jumped out of there's a New York story. I think a young girl, rest in peace to her. Don't want to say anything about her. I don't know why she jumped, but she jumped out of her luxury condo in New York. Or I'm not sure if the story's been resolved. Maybe there was some foul play. I'm not sure, but rest in peace to her, whatever she was going through. It is resolved now. She is dead, but it's an awful story to hear. But I was just thinking, it's always a luxury condo that people are jumping off. Those are the stories. What the heck? I can't speak English. Those are the only time you ever hear about these stories of people jumping out of buildings. Is always like, banker jumps out of luxury condo. And you could think, are just rich people committing suicide? Are people not jumping out of regular buildings? They probably are. It's just not a cool story. Guy jumps out of his regular studio apartment. Lame. What a bunch of nerds. Poor guy jumped out of his building. Guy gets stabbed in his hallway. They didn't even have a pool. What the heck? Why do I want to read this story? He didn't have a gym in his building. What a stupid man. So it's always a luxury people. And I mean, honestly, if you're trying to kick the bucket and you got a nice view, you got a long way to go, might be kind of cool. I'm not saying, listen, if anyone here is thinking about thinking these negative thoughts, please, there's always help. You can call the suicide hotline. I don't know the number for it. If I did, that'd be kind of concerning. But I'm not encouraging anyone. I'm just saying if you have a luxury building and you have a beautiful view and you have a nice pool at the top, you can go for a swim and then you can dry off on the way. You can really wick that water off you real quick. So I get it. I do get it. If you're going to go out with a bang, you might as well use your luxury. You might as well, if you have a friend with a luxury condo too, you might as well. This goes back to Liam Payne too. Man, this is getting gruesome. So I kind of get it. But I mean, they always have to mention it too in the title. Woman jumps off luxury condo. Okay, what? I guess they know, the news people know that like that's what gets the clicks. But what are people really interested in? It's like only architectural people reading that. Like, interesting. 2-bed and 2 baths. Wow. They probably learned that it's on the market from these sharks. Someone just died. Interesting. I need to represent that company or represent that building. I need to get this unit. I need to get my broker's fee. Which I think now, there was something with the broker's fee that maybe tenants don't pay the broker's fee now. I think I don't know. Real estate in New York is insane. I saw a video the other day of someone in Texas who was paying lower than my rent. Like a few $100s lower. I'm not going to say the dollar amount. And it was like in Austin. He lived like the nicest building ever. His kitchen was the size of my entire apartment, I think. Luxury living room, like it was insane. And his building had like pool tables, a pool, a full gym. And I'm just sitting here like, God damn it. I'm sitting here, there's a roach in my hallway on the floor. My neighbors are drilling through the wall. I'm like, what did I decide to do with my life? Why am I paying this much money to live here? It's the greatest city in the world, but rent's a little expensive, we'll be honest. So, that doesn't make you feel good. And then even in the comments, there are people like, that's so much money. And I'm like, God damn it. If they knew how much I was paying. And again, I'm not trying to brag. I'm just saying, real estate prices are crazy. Certainly not worth it, but it's kind of worth it, right? To be in New York City, but I don't know, man. And Austin, Texas is a cool. It's not like you're living in like Kalamazoo, Missouri. Is that even a place? It's not like you're living in the middle of nowhere. I'm sure you can get the nicest place ever for a third of what we're paying. But yeah, it's kind of crazy. Kind of crazy, man. So hopefully this new administration fixes some of that, but I doubt it. We'll see. I doubt real estate prices are on their mind. We shall see. Okay, what else? Who's getting in trouble? Oh, John Stamos. This is like the funniest story. John Stamos, Full House is a show, right? We've all probably seen it. They had the sequel show, Fuller House, which I don't even know if it's on the air anymore. I don't know if anyone watches it. Full House, John Stamos and his friend Dave Coulier, is that his name? Dave Coulier went bald. I think he might have cancer or something. I'm not sure. I didn't do my research, guys, for these things. I don't know. And John Stamos, in solidarity, wore a bald cap with him in a photo. John Stamos, in solidarity, went to party... Jesus Christ. I'm going to say that again. Pretend I speak English, guys. John Stamos, in solidarity, went to Party City and purchased a $5.99 bald cap. Just to make sure his friend was feeling all right. Which, I'm going to be clear, John Stamos has really nice hair, so out of all the people to go bald, it would be a crime for John Stamos to go bald. But let's be real. Your friend is going through chemotherapy or whatever. You can be like, don't worry, I'm fighting this fight with you. I'll put on a hat. I'll put on this bald cap. He might be horrified of just taking a picture looking like that. He might be like, oh my God, the tabloids are going to see me bald. He took it off in 2 seconds. John Stamos, what are you doing? And his friends seemed happy. He was like, nice, John's wearing a bald cap. I don't know. Maybe that was a good gesture for him. Maybe John Stamos has never worn a hat in his life, and him just wearing a bald cap is like the biggest thing ever. If you don't know who John Stamos is or what he looks like, look him up. His hair is gorgeous. The man's is just grease. It's like a Greek greasy hair. Just slick. You can wring it out and olive oil will come dripping out. That's how he feeds himself and his family. To cover that up is a crime, but I mean, your friend has cancer, your friend's going through it. Listen, would I do it if my friend had cancer? If someone close to me did, maybe I would. I don't know, I'd have to think about it. If they maybe they wouldn't care. They'd be like, bro, why would you do that? The heck? I didn't ask you to go bald. If I had cancer, I'd be like, you don't have to go bald, bro. Just keep your hair. The heck? I'm already suffering. I'm going to die. You might as well not. You might as well enjoy your life. The hell am I making you go bald? But I get it, right? There's like the shaving your head for St. Baldrick's or something. Is that a thing? I don't even know. Am I just making up saints? St. Johnny down by the block. But yeah, that is a thing. I mean, do what you got to do, right? Shaving your head for the BP oil spill, that was a thing. But certainly not wearing bald caps for the BP oil spill. If he wore it for a whole year and never washed his hair, that'd be a thing. But didn't do it, John Stamos. You didn't do it. And he's getting ripped apart online. What can you do? I think there was something funny on Twitter. I forgot. Oh, it was like someone tucking my arm in my shirt to show solidarity with my amputated friend or something. That's like the equivalent. Just like, all right, I'm gonna hide my hair. Johnny, out of touch, Johnny, out of touch. San Francisco, that's where Full House took place. It's not the same. San Francisco's out of touch. Everything's out of touch. What else we have? Just a lot of name dropping here. We got Putin. We got John Stamos. We're about to talk about Mark Zuckerberg. Mark Zuckerberg has reinvented himself, and I'm honestly happy to see it. Not really, honestly. What am I saying? That's how much he got me, that I just said I'm happy to see it. Motherfucking Mark Zuckerberg has billions of dollars, and I'm happy to see him not being a weirdo. No, I'm not. Mark Zuckerberg. He's cool now. Somehow he's cool. He's making songs with T-Pain. He's fighting people. He doesn't look like a robot. He's changed his image. Somehow Elon Musk has gone down and Mark Zuckerberg has taken his place. And that's how it goes. The yin and the yang of being a billionaire tech man. The yin and the yang of being a fake Iron Man. I've always liked Mark Zuckerberg for one aspect, that he chose a regular wife. And just seems like he's a regular family guy. I'm not sure. He's probably he's probably on Epstein's list, I'm sure. Some list of that sort, doing weird stuff. Or maybe not. Maybe he's not. Maybe he's the one billionaire that's not doing that kind of thing. But it always seemed nice. Like he was already rich, I think, by the time he had married his wife. So, he certainly could have dumped her and found some random model, doesn't even speak English. He could have found Melania Trump, the Melania Trump of his generation, and had a son when he's 50 that says, "I like my suitcase." But good for him. I'll say good for him. It's always nice to be liked in the public opinion, and it's an inspiration for everyone else. Honestly, like no matter what people's opinion of you is in the current moment, it can change. It can change if you do a little bit of hard work, put a little elbow grease into that, a little bit of John Stamos hair grease into that. It can change. And it certainly can't change if you're like if you're O.J. Simpson. It probably can't change if you killed your wife and your wife's friend. If you murdered people, if you're a rapist, if you're something along those lines, you probably can't change. Probably wrap it up. Probably stop trying to get your image to change. But if you're just a guy who's like, man, this guy's just cares about money, he's a robot, not likable, you can change your image. And it can go down too. Certainly in 10 years, maybe we'll be like, man, Mark Zuckerberg sucks. Remember when he was cool for like a week? That guy stinks. If he starts fighting people, honestly, it should be Mark Zuckerberg versus like Jake Paul. Some sort of fight. That'd be kind of crazy. For Facebook. Jake Paul's now the CEO of Facebook. I think we should like make it more cool on Facebook. I don't know, but good for you, Mark. And what's his wife's name? I want to say like Priscilla or something. Why do I know that? That's crazy. I remember there's a moment I was thinking of in high school. I remember my teacher, I forget one class. My teacher was just asking like if anyone knew who the top 5 richest people were. And I remember like when he asked that, I was thinking like, damn, definitely some nerd in this class who knows that, who has it all memorized. And no one knew it. And so I knew, it was like, I think at the time it was Mark Zuckerberg. So I was like, that's Mark Zuckerberg. And I just guessed the amount of money. And it was like, he was like close. And I just kept guessing. I got it right. And then it was like, the second richest person? And I was like, I knew like roughly who they were. I didn't know the amount of money. And I just kept going down by like $1 billion. And I kept just naming people. And I got them all right. And I was like, damn, I was that nerd that I was just making fun of. I became my worst enemy. I became the villain. But it wasn't like I knew the numbers. It was just like 75 billion. He's like, no, like 74 billion. And then no one else in the class was participating. I was like, okay, 73 billion. He's like, yes, you got it right. It's like, nice. I know how to count. So I got it right. Back in the day, it was so much more simple. The list of richest people. I don't even know them anymore. I have no idea. Probably Elon Musk. Probably maybe not Warren Buffett anymore. Probably back in the day, it was always like Carlos Slim, like Mexican telecom man, Larry Ellison. We had Mark Zuckerberg. We had Bill Gates. We had Richard Branson, and there were a lot of fun people too. Virgin Flights or whatever, Virgin Airlines. That man is just a British rock star guy or whatever, Australian. I'm Richard Branson and I have $50 billion, and I like to be with women on my planes. It was cool. They were cool guys, you know what I mean? You're like, nice, Richard, nice. Nowadays, Mark's cool, I guess, but we have Elon Musk, who's, he's, like I said, he's gone the opposite way. He's sadly gone the opposite way, and I liked him better when he was just a regular nerdy guy, just a rocket ship man. But what can you do? What can you do? I was thinking recently about restaurants. I was thinking about, just as a kid, was that a nice smooth transition of topics, by the way? Just immediately change subjects. I was thinking about being a kid and making a complete mess in a restaurant and it being the most fun thing. And now that I think about it, the waiter was probably ready to kill us. The waiter probably poisoned our food because he knew it was coming. Probably gave me diarrhea on several occasions because we would get in that restaurant, and the second things were dying down, we ate our food. We're just waiting in that lull after the food came. We're making a mess in that cup. We're putting ketchup. We're putting every sauce in a cup. We're mixing it around. We're putting broccoli in there. We're going crazy, and then we're offering it to people. We go up to Grandpa. We say, "Hey, you want to drink this?" And he pretends to drink it. We go, "Hey, you almost drank it." The most fun time in the world. The waiter's looking at us like, I'm going to kill these kids. These kids might as well be mice. Set some traps out. Second he gets back to his seat, I want his foot caught in a bear trap. We're making the table's a mess. And did my parents tip more to accommodate for that? Probably not. They're kids. They're fine. You got to deal with it. Damn, that sucks. That sucks if you are one of our waiters. But you know what? I had a great time. I'd do it again. My cousin did it recently. How old is she? 14 or 15 at this point. She still did it. I was like, hell yeah. Let's get in. Let's make a mess here. Let's make a disgusting cup. I forgot what it's called. It's just like a slurry. I feel like we had a name for it. It was just a known thing. We're like, at a certain point, we all winked. Well, let's make the cup. Let's make the cup. A1 steak sauce, mustard, some sort of aioli they put in there. That's where you learn the word aioli for the first time when you're making your potion. 1 gram of aioli. So yeah, I feel bad for the waiters, but honestly, I'm gonna be honest. I kind of tip the same amount no matter what happens. You'd have to be really bad, and then I don't know what I would do. I've never had a waiter that was so bad where I didn't tip them. But if you were really bad, maybe I'd give you like 15% or something. I don't know. You'd have to be so bad for me to not tip you, because I know that's you work for tips, right? It's your money. Like I would fucking hate it if I was working and you didn't pay me. Sometimes you have bad days on the job. Like as a software engineer, some days I didn't get things done. I was either distracted or like I couldn't figure it out and I didn't really get anything done. They'd be like, "Man, you're not getting paid today." I would be like, "What the fuck?" So I get it if I'm having a bad day as a waiter, and maybe I'm a little short with someone and they're like, "You suck, I'm not tipping you." That would suck. So I've never done that. Never stiffed anyone. Maybe I've given a smaller tip for some certain circumstances, but I've also never given a crazy tip. Like maybe the most I've ever tipped was like 30% or something. I don't even know. It's just like sometimes I have some places that give me like the other week I went on a date and I got a free drink, a free shot. I was like, what? And the guy was just like, "It's for you." I went to the bathroom. I came back. There was just shots on the table. I was like, "What the heck?" And she's like, wait till the waiter comes." And I was like, "Okay." And he like came. He took a shot with us. He's like, "This is for you." And I was like, "Okay, thanks." Did I talk about this last episode? I feel like I did. Like, okay. Do I give you more of a tip? I didn't want the shot, but thanks. Also, don't know why you gave me the free drink. You didn't tell me you knew me from anything. So, do I give him more of a tip? I probably gave him more, maybe like 25% or something. But I don't know. Like, are you trying to get me to pay you more, like the equivalent of the shot as your tip? I don't know. I went on another date. It was a few months ago. The guy just gave us like a bunch of free drinks. He was like, "I came to you too late." We sat down for maybe like a few minutes more than we should have, just waiting at the menu, like waiting for someone to come over. He's like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry. We got like two or three drinks each, maybe." It was like he charged us for like 1 drink each. I was like, "All right, you didn't have to do that, but maybe I tipped him 25%. I don't know what to tip him. I don't know. It's not coming out of his pocket, these drinks. So I don't really know. But I appreciated that guy. So I don't really know. I guess if I was super rich, I guess super rich people just throw around tips like it's nothing. I'm not super rich. I tip according to the standards, and that's pretty much it. So if I had Benjamins to be tossing out, if I was acting like I was at the strip club whenever I went to a restaurant, making rain in Applebee's, then certainly I would tip more. But I think it's fine to just be a regular tipper. And certainly if I have kids one day, which I hope I do, and they're making a mess, I'll throw in an extra couple bucks. I'll put the money in the slurry cup. Okay, fish that out. That's for your hard work. But I don't want you to get the money if you don't do the hard work. So it's like a little treasure hunt. It's like one of those gold panning kits. That'll be nice. They'll enjoy that. This might be slightly political, but there was a post online about I think this was from Donald Trump's son. So again, making it more hateable, saying like women can finally win beauty pageants again, and just like a blonde woman won a beauty pageant. Like biological women can win beauty pageants, and there were people saying no trans woman has ever won this beauty pageant, and the previous few winners are just people from other countries. So kind of racist of you, Don Jr., little Donnie boy. But I just thought, what the fuck is a beauty pageant? Like, didn't Donald Trump, he was one of the people who would like, I think he was the main investor, or like what, he was the one running the Miss America or something for a long time, I think. That was a thing, which I'm sure there was some shenanigans with that. I'm 1000% sure he did some incorrect things with that. But, I'm not going to make accusations. I don't know personally, but let's be real. Let's be so real. But just the idea, it's such a rich man's idea. It's such a Donald Trump thing to invent. Just a guy with so much money. How do I get all these beautiful girls? That's my rich man's voice. How do I get all these beautiful women to show themselves to me, to dress in skimpy clothing and to talk about their interests, and then I can choose them as beautiful one? I'll start a pageant. And the ladies jumped at it. I guess there's money involved. There's a cash prize, and you get the title. Like, it's cool to be Miss America. I really don't think it would matter to me at all if someone was like, "Hey, I'm Miss America." I'd be like, "Oh, that's cool. That's great." I don't need other people to tell me who's attractive. I guess that's the thing. I can judge who's attractive by myself. Either I like you or I don't. Some people I guess would care more. Like, if you're a girl who online who has like a million Instagram followers because you're more attractive. I don't care at all. Truly doesn't. It might actually be a negative. So I'm like, that's too much exposure. I don't want to be that famous. But are you good looking? Do I like the way you look? Sure, it doesn't matter. Like every other guy could think you're disgusting looking. If I think you're so hot, I'm like, what the heck? I'm like, what are they missing? Or they don't know what they're missing. They do not know what they're missing. Bunch of fools. I found a diamond in the rough. So yeah, that title doesn't mean much, but just the idea that we like, I bet when women started signing up for beauty pageants, I bet men were just like, we got them, boys, we got them roped into this. Oh, the bikini man, I can't believe we got a bikini section. They honestly would have probably added a nude section, a private viewing, the Donald Trump private viewing section, where he gave his own score. They would have if they could. They truly would. We all know it. So yeah, I don't know how that was invented. And then kids do beauty pageants too. That makes more sense actually. The kids doing beauty pageants makes more sense than the adults. But yeah, it's crazy. So I don't pay any attention to them. There's Miss Universe, right? That's a thing. You know, it's all subjective, right? It's not. Like, that's what I'm saying. You shouldn't care because they're all beautiful. Like you look at a beauty pageant, they're all beautiful. If you make it to that like final round, like damn, these women are all hot. Personally, right, I probably wouldn't agree. If you put all the contestants there, who do I think is the most beautiful? I'd probably choose the winner maybe like 5% of the time. I don't know. So obviously beauty is subjective, and it's nice to be Miss America, but it's a scheme, guys. We all know it was a scheme. We all know D-Trump, pulled a fast one over us. Pulled a fast one. Is there really any male beauty pageants? No, because who cares about men? Really, there's no rich, one of the Walmart ladies is going to make a male beauty pageant? Let me get some fine hunks here. Let's see them chopping wood. Let's see that physical part. Does my woman have like a transatlantic accent? Let's get the boys chopping wood right now. I'd love for them to lift me up. Who can throw me the furthest wins the beauty pageant. I mean, I'm sure people would like that. Maybe they do have men beauty pageant. Maybe I'm just not well versed. I didn't look it up. What can you do, Matthew? What can you do? I do not care about beauty pageants. I should have talked about this earlier, actually. Talking about the word nerd, I think I'm going to redefine the word nerd for you all. I'm going to do it, and I think my definition is perfect, and I think it should be the universal definition of nerd. And you can be a nerd of anything. I want to be clear. Being a nerd just means you care way too much about a specific topic. You are a blank nerd about a specific thing. So if you're a Yu-Gi-Oh nerd, you care way too much about Yu-Gi-Oh, right? You watch the show, you know every single card. You have a million cards in your house. You go crazy. You can be a non-Yu-Gi-Oh nerd. You can be a guy who plays Yu-Gi-Oh. That's not necessarily a nerd because you're just a chill guy. You know what I mean? Just a regular chill guy. He's got a couple packs of Yu-Gi-Oh. You know the cool things, but you know you're not crazy about it. So you can be a nerd and you can not be a nerd if you're doing stereotypical nerdy things, right? That's my definition. You can be a nerd about anything, right? You can be a nerd about sex. That's the main driver I want to talk about. You can be a nerd about what some would consider the least nerdy thing. What some teenage boys would consider, man, that guy's cool. That guy's fucking cool. You can be a nerd about sex. I'll give you an example, guys. This is very presentation-like of me. Pull up that PowerPoint. If you're a guy who's always like, I don't know why I didn't even have the example lined up in my mind. Let's give everyone an example that I have to think of right now. If you're a guy that's like, just like talking about like numbers, like you're like, I kissed 3 girls tonight. I went to the bar and I shook hands with 3 girls. I had conversation with 2 of them and I made out with one of them in the bathroom. That's a nerd. You're a nerd. This summer I had 5 makeout sessions by the bridge. One by we kissed for 12.2 seconds each, and on average the lip plumpicity was 32%. You're a nerd. There's some guys like that. Talking about their body count, they're using fucking equations. Unless at the rate at which I'm going, if I get one woman per week, I will achieve a status. It's just such a nerd. That is the definition of being a nerd. You care so much about a specific thing. Chill out, bro. Chill out. I guess the person I was describing with that voice would probably not be in that situation, but such a nerd. So you can be a nerd about anything. Elon Musk is a conservative meme nerd, right? He is a trolling nerd. He's also a rocket ship nerd. Sorry, I'm like hiccuping. Am I a nerd of anything? I guess I have been sometimes, but right now, like I wouldn't call myself a comedy nerd, really. Sadly, I don't care about comedy enough. That is a problem. I should be a comedy nerd. I don't know. I would like to be a nerd. Being a nerd is fun. I'm not saying it's not. Like being a nerd about specific things. I guess like certain, I don't know, like you read a book and you'll look about it afterwards. You're kind of a nerd about that book. But just in general, just caring too much about a specific thing, that's what a nerd is. That is what a nerd is. And some people are nerds about a lot of things. You can be a nerd about anything. You can be a cooking nerd. You can be a cooking nerd. So when someone calls someone a nerd, it's derogatorily used to mean like the Yu-Gi-Oh nerd in most cases and that kind of stuff. But it could be anything. So I'm going to start weaponizing the word nerd. I'm going to use it against people. And we're going to see how it goes. I'm going to try to be a trendsetter. I'm going to try to be a trendsetter. I'm going to say, you stupid. I'm going to call people a stupid nerd. I'm going to say, shut up, nerd. I've said that many times before, actually. Shut up, nerd to someone. Try that with your friends. If you're watching this, someone says something like, shut up, nerd. They can say the weirdest thing. They can say the most non-nerdy thing. Shut up, nerd. You nerd. We're making it derogatory. We can make nerd a slur, I think. By 2028, we can make nerd a slur. Make nerd a slur again. That's going to be that. Make nerd a slur. I think we can pull it off, guys. I believe in us. Us together. Maybe I'm a Hinge nerd because I'm about to talk about it. I'm definitely not, but I know too many of the rules. Like this next thing, I feel like I'm a Hinge nerd. It's not a good thing to be. Dating app nerd out here. Do you see the new update? Hinge update 18.6? They added in performance enhancements. You can swipe faster now. No, Hinge, this is the thing they did a while ago, but they limited the amount of people you can be talking to at once to 8 people, which is certainly a woman nerf. I'll say that. It is really only affecting women and like male models probably because maybe it's happened once, probably never happened where I'm talking to 8 girls at once, 8 active conversations. What am I? What am I? The Secretary of State? What am I? The the usher at a movie theater? 8 women at once? Jesus Christ, guys. And I've seen some women complaining about it online. They're like, I can't talk to 8 guys at once. No, why are you talking to 8 guys at once, guys? Some of y'all, I guess some of you treat it as a game, but my goodness. And they're making the video as if it's like a universal problem. Us guys were like, what the heck? We didn't know y'all were doing that. I mean, I'm sure there are some guys doing that, but it's like, okay, Chris Hemsworth, stop hogging up all the women. Hogging up all their time. So I think it's a positive feature, and it certainly hasn't affected me because not ever talking to that many people at once. That's crazy. I can't even get that many matches. I would have to legitimately swipe probably 500 times in one day to get that many matches, and I wouldn't even be guaranteed. I've swiped almost that much before. I'm going to be so clear. I have. It's easy to swipe without thinking when you're like watching a movie or something. You're just like, you don't read anything. You just swipe, look at people's pictures. I'd have to go crazy. So that's like a job to do that. But yeah, some people, so I think it's a good thing. I've certainly had people like unmatch me and stop talking to me though, which I think is because of the 8 thing. But I want to be clear, you were probably going to do that anyway. It's not like I'm not doing what I normally was going to do. So good riddance, I guess. If you're just swiping on me and unmatching, whatever. Do what you got to do. I don't really care. Do what you got to do, boss. But there's a lot of also women that make videos. I guess I'm hating on women right now a little bit. Not really, though. Just like when they make a video online about an older man, they'll find an older man on a dating app, and he'll have his like preferences set to short-term relationship or something, or not looking for anything serious, and they always like make fun of the older guy. They're like, dude, your time is running out, bro. Like, what is this? I hate when old guys say that. Like, leave the guy alone. Let him do whatever he wants. You don't know anything about him. What if he just got out of a 20-year marriage or something like that? What if he's been monogamous his whole life and he's like, you know what, I want to enjoy my life for a little bit. Let him do what he's got to do. Let people do. If they can't find anyone that's interested in that, then they'll adjust, right? You adjust. It's like a supply and demand, right? If a 40-year-old guy can find someone who wants to be in this uncommitted relationship with him, by all means, he's allowed to do that. And more power to him. More power. He can show his ex-wife on his new Instagram page. He can be like, having fun with this woman who doesn't talk back to me. She's drinking pina coladas you let me drink without yelling at me about my beer belly. I hate you, Vanessa. I don't hate you, Vanessa. Sorry. Vanessa's right behind me. So, yeah, I think that's fine. Let the guys do whatever they want to do. Let them just chill. I guess I'm being a man advocate here, even though I say I hate men probably every single episode. Just let them chill. Let people do what they want. Stop getting on people's cases. Anyone who takes a picture of a dating app or some sort of video or something, a screenshot. It's just, stop being a weirdo, guys. Leave it alone. I don't think that should be allowed to take pictures of other people's profiles and like make fun of them. It's just weird. I mean, I guess it's allowed, whatever, do whatever you want, but I think it's just weird. People should be shamed more for that. Like dudes posting all their jokes that they send to women. Just, I don't know. Just chill out, guys. Come on. Come on, guys. Chill out. What are you going to do? It's a vulnerable space, I guess. I wouldn't really care if someone took a picture of my profile. I think my profile's fine, but it's just weird. I almost want someone to like post a video of my profile online making fun of me, and then I can just destroy them. Like I would hold... When someone gives you the opportunity to destroy them, it's such a gift. It's just a blessing. It's like getting Christmas present early. The Christmas present is an empty box, which is a picture of the most disturbing, ugliest person in the world. And it's like, go to town, and you're just like, oh, I get to do this. So I would like you to do that. But yeah, I guess I'm pretty awkward. I think I'm very awkward in general, socially awkward. Occasionally, when meeting new people, I think I do faux pas sort of things often. So on a date, I guess I am kind of awkward sometimes. Certainly, in the beginning, you kind of have to ease into things. And I'm always kind of awkward in a certain sense until I get to know you. But I think that's just who I am, right? And maybe it's shot me in the foot. But this feels like a therapy session almost. I'm like recording this to send to my therapist. It's like an interview question. What's your biggest weakness? I'm just awkward, man. I'm just a weird guy. I just say things like I have Tourette's. I just say things randomly, and then you got to deal with the consequences. No, I'm not saying like that. Just like, I don't know. It's like weird. Certainly physical intimacy sometimes is awkward. But whatever. I also don't remember. I don't know, it's weird. Like, I feel like after a first date, I go home. I don't remember anything. I don't remember what the person looked like. I don't remember what they sounded like. They're just like a vague, ghastly shape in my mind. They're an entity, and I'm like, I have to remember things. I'm like, okay, if I'm going to see this person again, I have to be like, okay, siblings? Like, what? And then I see them again, and I'm like, oh, like they slowly just gain more pieces until maybe after a few times, I can fully shape them out. But it's like a guy trying to remember his long lost mother, just like having flashbacks. I can't remember it. It's very weird. I'll literally go home and I'm like, what the fuck happened? That really happened? So that might be a thing I have to work on. That might be part of the awkwardness too. It's like, Jesus Christ, who was that? Was that real? Is that a real human being? So yeah, I'm a strange man, I guess sometimes. But it's no excuse, right? I'm an adult, right? You can't use that as an excuse. I'm not saying you need to treat me any different. I don't have autism, right? I'm not diagnosed or on the spectrum. At least not any spectrum you guys can decipher. I'm on my own sort of spectrum. But yeah, I am just kind of weird sometimes. A little bit. It's fine. I also can't take compliments well. That's a thing. Like when someone compliments me, I don't feel like saying thank you. I don't know why. Just saying thank you feels wrong. Sometimes I don't say thank you. I try to say something else. Like many times if people have complimented me on a joke, they'll be like, that was a great joke, man. I'll be like, oh, it's all right. I don't know if I like it that much. Like I could just be like, hey, thanks, man. I do like the joke. I'm lying. I'm literally lying. Or maybe I'm like it's not perfect. But I'm just like, oh yeah, thank you, man. I could just say that, but I don't. And they're like, they go into like reassuring me, like, no, it's a great joke. And I'm like, why did I do this? I should have just said thank you. Should have said I appreciate it, man. So I don't know why I do that. It's just awkwardness sometimes. Saying thank you is such an easy and expected thing to do. If you're watching the video version of this, you see me trying to pour my water out. Well, I just spilled it everywhere, motherfucker. Into my recycling bin cup. I need a bigger mug because I always need to pour more water out halfway through this podcast. That's a disability I have. But yeah, so I'm whatever. It's fine to be awkward. It's fine, guys. What are you gonna do? It's fine to make faux pas. Like I said, Mark Zuckerberg reinvented himself. Maybe one day I'll be so good, no one's gonna remember. I'm sure I was certainly more awkward back in the day. You grow into yourself a little bit more. In high school, oh man, there was sophomore year. I probably talked about it here. So awkward. That was like the weirdest year for me in my life. I couldn't do anything. I just remember being so awkward. People thought I was probably crazy. But we live and we learn. We live and we learn, become better people. And here I am, king of the world. #1 podcast on the iTunes store, on the Apple podcast. That's how it goes. Some of y'all believe me for a second. You're like, this is the #1 podcast. More like number 1,000 million. No, I'm kidding. It's a popular podcast, guys. You all love me. Everyone here loves me. Isn't that right? Say it with me. You all love me. All right, I don't know how much time I've been doing, but I have two more things. I would like to talk. I wrote down college pee story. This is a great story. If you're the... What the fuck happened? My whole room just shifted. Things are breaking. If you are the person who doesn't want to hear disgusting things, perhaps end the podcast now because it only gets weirder. College pee story. So when I was in college, I think my freshman year, it was, I think around Christmas break, everyone was going home. But I was staying a little bit later for some reason. Like everyone's flights were earlier. I think I had a later final, so I had to stay. Very few of my friends were staying. But the water main for our building, like down the street, the water main like exploded, and they had to shut it off, and there was no water on like my entire side of the street. So we had no water, and that means they were like, "Hey, you can't use the bathrooms, guys. You can't use the bathroom. You got to go across the street or some other building to go use their bathrooms to do whatever you got to do." So obviously. To do stuff, I remember I went to the university center to brush my teeth. It was like a little bit of a walk to brush my teeth, do some stuff. But I'm going to be real, guys. I was pissing in that bathroom with no water all day. I was pissing in that, but you could not make me walk. It was the winter, right? It was freezing cold in Pittsburgh. Back in the day when everything was absolutely freezing cold. I'm not getting out of my house to go piss. You know how many times I have to piss sometimes? To walk across the street. They won't even let you in the building. You have to like buzz in. You have to like, hey, I gotta pee. What are you doing here? Hey, I gotta piss. I take a shit. I'm not doing that. So I would pee in the bathroom, and it was a disaster in there. It was a disaster. It was just imagine a urinal full of piss, just adding more piss to it. A toilet full of piss. It's like if you flushed and piss came out. Instead of water to clear the toilet, just more piss. It's just piss, piss, piss. And I did what I had to do. Wash my hands. I used hand sanitizer. I was pissing. And I don't think I took a shower for... Listen, guys, this was 7 years ago or 8 years ago. I can talk about it. You're not allowed to judge me. I've become a new person. I'm reinventing myself like Mark Zuckerberg. I treated it like a camping trip, right? And then I went on a plane home, and I was like, thank God I finally have a shower I can take. But it's probably 2 days where I didn't take a shower, and I was just pissing in a pot of piss. He ain't got no pot to piss in? I sure did. It was a pot of piss. That's a tongue twister. How many pots of piss can a pot of piss in? So yeah, that was great. And I don't know what my friends did. I forgot. We were all just like, what the fuck? What's going on? We got no water. I think they all left a day before me too. I was like the last one left, just with nothing. Just me and my piss urinals. I don't remember if I pooped in one of them. I think I'd be worried. I don't think I did. I think I'd be worried because, sometimes you poop and the splash comes up and it would have just been pure piss. It would have just been other people's mixing like a cauldron of piss. So I wouldn't want to do that, but that's my college piss story. And the water, like, it took a long ass time. It was like, I think just by the time we got back, which is like at least a month later, it was then being fixed. So imagine we had to stay there for longer. It was it was like the entire pipe, like a giant water main burst in the street. And they had to fix. And I remember there was like water spraying out of this hole. It was crazy. So, yeah, that was cool. Hope you all enjoyed that story. Last one, it's called the Grandma Orgy Finder. This is also related to college. Freshman year. Around the same time, actually, I believe, right? Yeah, because that would have been the first semester. I took a class. It was the Introduction to Computer Science. I forgot what it was called. And you had to do a term project at the end of the year. Everyone had to do one. And I forgot what my project exactly was, but my friends all called it a Grandma Orgy Finder. And I think it was just like, it was something stupid. It was just some like app to like, you have a calendar and it would like automatically suggest events for you to do to fill your calendar. It's kind of like AI almost, but not really. This was before AI was really a thing that was accessible to people. It was like recommend things to do. You put in like your suggestions, like what kind of food you like and stuff, and it will just suggest like you can go to this restaurant in your area, blah, blah, blah. And it would like help you organize that stuff. A pretty rudimentary app that probably some kid, I didn't think it was that good. I thought it was stupid. But some kids probably like, oh, this could make me millions of dollars, this weird calendar app or whatever. And I forget why, but my friends just called it a Grandma Orgy Finder because I think I was like, yeah, you can use it to find things in your area. And somehow it got related to my grandma too. And I forget. I don't remember. I didn't think this one through. I don't remember why it was called that. I just thought you wanted to know. December of my college year was me pissing in pots of piss and working on an app called a Grandma Orgy Finder. It probably took like days to code this thing. I mean, it was a serious project, right? Like it was probably a big chunk of my grade. to do this grandma orgy finder, and mine was fun. I think I got like maybe a 90 on it or something like that. It wasn't spectacular. Certainly wasn't blowing anyone's socks off, but it was good enough to get a good grade. And I was like, thanks. I finished it. What are you gonna do? It was cool. Back in the day, those were fun things to do. These term projects were fun. Some of them were real pleasures to work on. So I enjoyed certain parts of college. I enjoyed certain parts. I was like, this sucks. I have no free time. I hate this. Maybe I'll talk about college more. Maybe if we have my brother on here, we'll talk about our differences in our college. Because he was in, I don't want to spoil it, he went to the University of Tampa, which is a beautiful beach. Everyone's out having blasts. He's going fishing. He's going to the beach. I'm in fucking Pittsburgh, no water, pissing. I remember there was one day it was so cold they canceled classes. And I was like, yeah, that doesn't even matter because it's not like you canceled my homework. I still got to do everything. I was barely going to class sometimes anyway. Some classes I barely went to. I still had to do the work. I still had to get my grade. So, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Sometimes I honestly have nightmares. Sometimes I wake up and I'm like, I didn't do my work for my class. Like, that's how much it was, like, ingrained in me. It was like, that's how serious it was. I, like, have nightmares that, like, I didn't finish my degree properly and someone was going to find out. That's kind of crazy. It's, like, weighing on my soul, which I did. I did everything perfectly. I did everything fine. My GPA was a 3.2 something, which for some of you guys are like, man, that sucks. That's a shitty GPA. Guys, it was so hard. You understand? My GPA is, I think it's fine. It's not great, but it's good. I'll say it's good. For my school, that's a good GPA. If I wanted to get anything higher, I'd have to be a monster. I'd have to be much smarter than I am, which I couldn't do, or I'd have to just like work so much harder and just care much more. And I just didn't care. Certain things I didn't care about. But yeah, that is it, guys. That is the end of the podcast. I've had an amazing time with you all. Remember, don't eat those carrots, and if you do, there's a lot of diseases there. Let's just say tuberculosis is back in fashion, and it is coming to a carrot depot near you. Have an amazing week, everyone. Hopefully we have a new guest next week. We'll see how that works. We'll see how he fares, he or she. And yeah, love you all. I need an ending phrase. My introduction is welcome to the podcast. My ending phrase should be see you later, you nerds. Maybe shut up, nerds. Shut up, you nerds. I'll try to say that. That didn't flow off the tongue right. Have a nice week and shut up, nerds.